Question: why do we use icons in frames? Answer: do you really want to know the answer? And the answer is because design is about consistency. We as designers have to organize content, and in order to do that, we have to stay consistent. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to right-click, select plugins and feather icons. If you don't have this plugin, you can choose manage plugins and type feather icons, and you can run it from there. Okay, I'm going to click feather icons and select one, this one. I have this icon. Okay, let's zoom in. It has no background, but I can activate white color under fill on the right side. Let's make it red. It's 24 by 24 pixels. And inside we have a dot line and this huge vector. So we have 3 objects inside. Now, if I measure the distance, for example, from this icon to, let's say, this image, I am holding Alt or Option key, and now I can see it's 19. But let's say if I have a copy of this, I don't need the insides, and measuring the distance, it's 21. Okay, let's take another icon. For example, I don't know, something like this. Here I have another icon. Let's add fill. Let's measure the distance, it's 19. But if I place this icon here out of frame, and now I'm measuring the distance, it's 28. It's going to be very hard to stay consistent because each icon is in different shape, though they are part of the same set. And if you don't use frames at all, it's going to be very hard to align and stay consistent. Let me show you. For example, if I'm placing this here, okay, let's make it 12. It's very easy to align. Another reason why you want to use frames is because it is easier to design an icon if you have a frame and it constrains you. Let me show you. Here I called it default icon frame. And for example, if I'm designing, I can activate this, and I am constrained by this blue rectangle, and I can design an icon knowing that it's going to fit this specific rectangle. I can activate this, square, circle. If you are curious how I created this frame, 24 by 24, and how I added grid and so on, I used Google Material Design. And Google Material Design is a great place if you're just starting, if you want to learn how Google designed their websites, their products, and they're offering all the information for free. You can go check it out. They have Material Design 1, 2, 3. You can Google it. And I created this frame with a grid. It's 1 pixel grid, and I have lines. So for example, okay, let's add an icon. Let's say this one. Here I have an icon, and if I create a duplicate, okay, let's select 2, and okay, if I activate square, look, it fits perfectly. It's 1 pixel from here to the border of this blue line, 1 pixel here, so it fits perfectly. If I have, let's say, different icon, let's take this one. Let's deactivate this, and now let's drop it here. Okay, this frame. I drop this frame here. I'm going to align to the center here. On the right side, I'm using align vertical centers and horizontal centers. Now it's centered. And I'm going to activate the circle, and the circle is at the bottom. I'm going to bring up top, and look, it fits perfectly, meaning that feather icons also used this grid system to design icons. And imagine if you are creating, let's say, 20 icons. Let's take pencil tool. You rarely need this tool. And let's say you're designing an icon, let's say this, you have one icon. And without using a frame, you're not going to design a great icon set because you have no clue what's going on. It's just an empty space. And, it could be a clock here. And you're designing different icons. And it's not based on math like here, because we have a grid, we have lines, we have additional objects we can activate and see how it looks. The reason why I wanted to talk about this and show you a few examples is quite simple. Because some designers don't use frames, some designers use groups, and some designers don't use groups or frames. Let me show you what I mean. Let's say I am designing an app. I have a frame, a new frame here. I'm going to pick one just to make my point. And I have an icon and it's inside this 24 by 24 frame. And the correct way is to place this frame inside. Now, the incorrect way is to take the inners and just drag out and delete the frame. This is not a good idea. And some designers, what they do, they select each vector and they right click and use group selection. And now it's group one. And it's not the correct way. You don't want to use groups. You don't want to drag vector outside. And you don't want to design outside the frame. You want to use frame like this, with grid, with lines, and this is the correct way to design. And if you want to learn more, I have a free course and it's called Scalable Vector Graphics Part 2, Icons on Figma. Here on Udemy, it's about 2 hours, and I'm teaching there how to edit icons, how to find libraries, free libraries, paid libraries. So if you want to learn more, you can check this course. But for now, just know that each icon has to be in the frame.